Synagex is a company right here in the Berkshires. John Sinopoli is the founder, owner, president. He's the guy. And John, I've known you for a while, and saw you when you started your business. And man, it's going well. So welcome. It's great to see you.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me.
So you're rocking and rolling there with Synagex. So tell me a little bit about how this all got started a few years back, and you're growing.
Yeah, it's been a ride. As you know, I started my career right in banking and working in public business, and it was a great learning experience. I spent, I don't know, roughly, I'd say 16 years there. There just came a point in my career where I sort of felt like there's more to it. I feel like there's a connection missing, and made a big career decision to kind of spin off and start a company that's a little closer to a place where at least I feel like we can add some value. And we felt like there was some opportunity to do that. So we started Synagex. Yeah, we are a service focused, and we really try hard to make IT simple. And so underneath all of that, John, there's a lot that goes into it. But we really feel like there was an opportunity here in the Berkshires to do that and to offer a service to folks to make this whole IT and cybersecurity world much simpler.
And right now, there's this sort of rush into entrepreneurism. The thing to do now is to be an entrepreneur, is to start out on your own and do all this. And that's what the culture is in business now. You see it, I see it all the time. But that 16 years in the industry, I can tell you, I mean, that's where you begin to really get it. And you're like, wait, there's a niche right here. I can do that. And that doesn't, you don't just get out of college or whatever and just know that. It takes a while.
Yeah, no, that's right. And even with that understanding and sort of this confidence that there's an opportunity there, it's still a leap, to kind of jump in and make that happen and to prove that theory. But yeah, especially in technology, right? There's a lot of mechanic that goes into it. There's definitely, in at least from our perspective, an opportunity to sort of really help people digest and use the stuff, right? And for whatever reason, it feels like there's a lot of engineering folks out here that really have a difficult time with sort of bridging that gap with, folks who make widgets.
Yeah. Totally. Totally. So, looking at that, you've added employees, and I know that there are challenges, and we hear about this all the time, of getting quality workers to quality jobs here in the Berkshires, and that's something that I've had this conversation a zillion times, probably with you in the past. But you're finding qualified people, and they're also working here, because we've also had this conversation about how people can work anywhere. And so when you're hiring people, are they actually coming to the Berkshires? So all your people, they're here.
They're here. They're here. Yeah. No, it's definitely a challenge, and we've explored, hiring remotely. And at some point, that might be something we have to do. But I grew up in the Berkshires, right? I love it here. I think we have a lot to offer, and where we can, we're going to make every effort to try to hire here. Culture, is a huge thing. As you can see from, the office environment, we're sort of big on culture. We have this giant whiskey cave of an office with a ping pong table and lots of different places you can sit and work, including outside. Those are all important things when building a company. Those are things I learned, in my 16 years prior. Successful teams, it's not just about skills. It's about the vibe. It's about being happy at work, and that's a tough thing to do remotely. And we have all the tools, for that sort of stuff right here in the Berkshires. So we're going to invest there.
And so, looking at that, of course, the hiring challenge that there's there, you're overcoming that and getting through that, just like every business is doing its best. The Berkshires as a place to do business, it's your home, it's where you grew up, where we grew up. but there are benefits and there are challenges that go along with that. I think the workforce is one of those challenges. Cost of living when you're bringing people to the Berkshires is actually pretty good. I mean, obviously, different parts of the Berkshires is they are different. But tell me about that, and what can we do as an economic development community to maybe help businesses in that effort, particularly recruiting, I suppose, is probably the biggest challenge.
Yeah, to some degree, I think, last year sort of helped us, to
Hmm.
that end, just I think just the general, I believe I saw some stat on Facebook or something recently about Pittsfield being the
Yeah.
fifth most relocate. That's fantastic. I mean, all of that stuff, and highlighting those things that are important to life, to people who appreciate that work-life balance is key. I think, the ways that we can sort of attract and reinforce that, there's a lot of different ways to approach it. Infrastructure is always a big topic, right? So it's great to live in the Berkshires and having, some of that accessibility to be able to run a company that sells internationally and sells, across the country from a place that gives you that work-life balance. That's important. That's big, and it's definitely something, especially in Pittsfield, that we're having some trouble with. But I think all of these things that we're talking about make sense, and especially now when we have some momentum, due to circumstances out of our control, it's time to step on the gas, right?
Yeah, and then especially for younger employees, younger families, they got to have things to do, and I think the Berkshires do have things to do, but primarily a lot of it is sort of in that cultural venue range, and I think we're getting there and doing, and I've been hearing a lot of rumblings of different kinds of events and things that are more catered toward the sort of younger crowd, which I think will help us on the long run because the cultural venues generally is an older group of people who attend.
I'm seeing good things. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm just an eternal optimist when it comes to the Berkshires, but I notice, there's definitely, some younger, very energetic folks who are driving business and who are, bringing, folks into this area that are talented and sort of match with energy. It's exciting, and it's exciting to see sort of what happens when some of those things, when they occur. So it's looking good from my lens. I think we're doing better. I think we're on
Yeah,
the right track.
I think so. I think we are. So looking at it, the industries that you work with, the businesses that you work with, and you do a good job highlighting that. In fact, one of the reasons why I thought of giving you a call, John, is I see these Instagram posts with some of your clients who are happy with your work and so forth. That's a great concept of marketing, by the way. So so tell me about who you're looking to attract and what size businesses. What is it? What is your target?
Yeah, and I'm glad the ads are working, John. We we've been fortunate in that, some of the relationships we've built early on, between Synagex and other business, they've been really good, with growing businesses that have they have needs, that are sort of larger than just, the simple IT stuff. We want to kind of push up the strategic stack, and we've been able to do that with them and help them grow. It's been sort of really, really good. I think Synagex, we work with, just about any small to medium-sized business. IT is a need for anybody. So, to that end, if anybody's out there and they just want simple IT solutions and they want a team that's accountable for it and can just deliver a simple result, right? We all want sort of that uh, Alexa or Siri to sort of translate to everything in the office and how my IT works. That's really what we specialize in, but we're also a bunch of bankers, John. There's a few folks on the team here that are, we not only speak geek, but we speak cybersecurity and risk and compliance and all of that, have to do stuff in regulated space. So we've done a lot of work with Department of Defense, small manufacturing, and cybersecurity work in general. That's really kind of been a big growth area for us over the past year.
Outstanding. So, it seems like, you can work with the smaller businesses and do that, but then, those big contracts, those have got to be nice, with some of those bigger entities. And, the financial institutions, hey, generally they're always going to be there. and they are usually are pretty good about budgeting things like that. So yeah, it's a good niche right there.
Cybersecurity has just become a big. I did a quick conversation. We're members of the Berkshire Innovation Center and big proponents of their mission and what they do. And I've done a couple of interviews with them, just sort of around what's happening lately and COVID impacts. And Ben asked me a question about what's the next big thing, right? We're in technology. Tell me what the next cool thing is going to be: virtual reality, artificial intelligence, all this good stuff. And I disappointed him with this answer, and I said, I think the next big thing is going to be cybersecurity, Ben.
It's way less boring than you want it to be. I'm so sorry.
I mean, we've all sort of adopted some technology and become more mobile, right? Not just in the Berkshires, it's worldwide. And whenever convenience becomes a thing, right? Whenever accessibility becomes a thing, well, shortly to follow is going to be how to, exploit that and how to use those things to gain access to valuable assets, from the outside in. Cybersecurity has been a huge topic for businesses all over the place, even the ones that aren't regulated. Nobody wants to get broken into, and so we've spent a lot of time trying to take that whole complicated world and again, apply the Synagex sauce and try to simplify it a little bit.
The Synagex sauce. I like that. John Sinopoli. Hey man, great pleasure. It's great talking to you again. And I wish you continued success and continuing to grow. We love those businesses creating more jobs and plus, someone from the Berkshires like you, who's dedicated to this region. It's fantastic. So I wish you the very best.
Thanks so much, sir. You too.